Hey Coach, it's Joe Salas. We're continuing with our insertion. Today we're going through our 90 game, 4-day insertion, 4 90s. We start out day 1 with our shallow, which is 90 to us. Day 2 is our 4 verts, which is 96 to us. Day 3 is our Y cross, which is 95, and then day 4 is 94, which is our Y sail. So all very traditional air raid 90 game. I went ahead, I'm going to draw this thing up against too high. I don't get a lot of too high, at least on first and second down. I think teams have trouble stopping our run game with a too high look, but third down, sometimes teams will go ahead and go too high on us. So we're going to draw it up, kind of change it up from the first couple days and draw it up against too high. So we're starting out what we call 90, and this is kind of a jiu-jitsu thing. I learned this in jiu-jitsu. We put in just our shallow right, and then as we get into the season, once we get good at 90, then we'll go ahead and put in 91, and it seems to just go easy for us. So that's how we do it. So 90, this H, this is our speed guy. This is the guy we like to run jets with. This is the guy we like to run shallow with. We like to run bubbles with him. This is our fast guy. So this works out perfect for us. So starting on the right, because we're 90 to us, and we're going shallow to the right. So we got a vertical stretch the field out of the Z. We've got the H coming flying across on the shallow, and he does not stop. He keeps running. We got the Y on a 10-yard dig, and he is finding the first window he can find at 10 yards deep. We like to take this X and run him on a post to try to influence this F, this free, not to come down and mess with this dig route. Then we move the F over away from, the back's always going to be away from the shallow, so he's on a check, swing. He's checking his play side backer for blitz before he swings out of there. Here's how the progression works. We'll allow a quick peek at the Z, meaning if they forget to put a corner out there, we expect our guy to be able to throw it to him, but he is not in the read. So we're on a 3-step drop. After he hits his 3rd step, he's starting his fast feed. He is checking for color. So this is 1. Then he'll come back to 2 on the dig, then 3. I'm not going to draw off the front. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about pass pro. We are a vertical set team. We take big on big. The back's got one, and the quarterback's got the other. So that's just how we do all 90s. Is we're always a vertical set, and we're always big on big. All right, so this is 90. So quarterback's looking to his right. He's looking for color. If he sees color outside the shallow, he knows that he's working back for dig to back. If there's no color outside in front of the shallow, we're going to take that easy throw over and over and over. So again, I always want to get the easy throws. When we took the vertical read off of this route, all of a sudden our percentages shot way up. Obviously, shallows are great. All the 90s are good against all coverages. It's a great man call. But by taking that vertical route, I've had it where he runs up post. I had all different kinds of things out there, but our percentages were low on this thing until we took it off and just said, all right, shallow's going to be number 1. Let's find them. Let's hit them. All right, day 2. Day 2, we're going 96, which is the traditional 4 verts. I think all air raid guys would like to make a living on 4 verts. Unfortunately, it's easier said than done. Here's the big rule on 4 verts: is these inside guys, they got to know if they got a roof on them or not. They got to haul tail and get 12 yards deep, and then make a decisive decision. That's a Leachism. Make a decisive decision at 12 yards deep, and let's live with what we got. So the way, if it's a 1 high. We're playing the 2-man game with the 1 high safety. So against 2 high, now you got to work for it a little more versus 2 high. So here's what we got. X is the number 1 read. Quarterback's taking 3-step drop, and he's going to hit the. If he likes it, he's taking the X. F is check, swing, and then if the backer doesn't come, he's taking it. All right, now H, our speed guy. he can, if there's no roof, he's taking it straight down the hash. If there is a roof, then at 12 yards, he's gonna slam on the brakes and find his window. So let's say that this is the 12-yard, he is hauling tail. Usually he'll have to outside release. This guy will expand on us. He'll outside release him. If this safety is getting depth, then he is gonna slam on the brakes and find this hole after he gets to 12. If there's no roof, this guy expands. He expands out, or, which he'll sometimes do, those safeties will both get out, or then we catch him rolling into a 3 for some reason, then he'll take it straight down the hash and we're looking for a home run shot. He is the number 2 look. Then, number 3 look, same deal. If this is our 12-yard level right here, this guy's gonna expand, he's gonna have to get around this guy, but he's got all the freedom. Now he can curl it up. He can, if there's no roof, he can run. He can post this thing to the middle against too high. He can even work this thing outside. He's the freedom guy. Again, this is our bigger guy. He's probably a little better about finding holes, finding windows, and he's the one that's got all the freedom. So it's 1 to 2, he would be 3, and then back would be 4. And then we've done something we stole off of a YouTube guy, I think, is we run this Z. He's really not hard to read, but we run him to 20 yards. He puts on the brakes at 20 if he hasn't got a ball, and he retraces straight back down the pipe, and he becomes a safety valve, which sometimes gets hit in a scramble situation. So, not 4 verts. Our way of doing it, I know some people let the H have the freedom also, or change it up, but that's how we do it. If we go 3x1, which I love it out of 3x1, we'll usually read the individual guy first and then work it across that way. All the rules are still applied. Backside guys down the stem, all the rules are the same. We just always start our read on the single receiver side, and you know, we have the stops. We don't back shoulder it a whole lot, but the way we teach the stop, we'll just call 96 stop, and that tells the outside guys that it's gonna look like a back shoulder. We're throwing it to the back of their helmet. They're gonna catch that thing somewhere around 12 yards is usually where that thing's coming down, but it's gonna be on a rope spinning right at the back of their helmet. They'll slam on the brakes and catch it. So that's 96 against 2 high. And again, if it's 1 high, there's no roof on the seams, so they're both flying down the seam, and he's working H to Y, taking the open guy. Coaching point, make sure he's getting an outside release on these walk players. All right, next one, 95. Another good old staple of air raid offense. Y cross went a lot of time where Y cross wasn't a big part of what we were doing, and you know, it's kind of made a comeback in my mind. 95, we're starting on this side. We're gonna go skinny post, and he's got it cleared. He's got to be wide open. We're going the Y, same air raid rules. Under the first, over the second. If you run out of bounds, you run out of bounds at 22 yards deep. So it looks something like this. He's going in, he's getting over, and he's taking it. If he ran out of bounds, it'd be at 22 yards, but he can find any hole that he can find. He'll sit down in grass against zone. And you see, we want this post back here to try to help this guy not mess around with our cross. On this backside, we've got what we really like, the post curl. It really times up good because we're going, well, let's get to H first. H is a new thing that we're doing. We're sending him on a 10-yard speed cut out, and he is actually number 1 now. If we want to get here, we'll have a little signal to get there. So the play works 1 to 2 to 3, and then back here, I got all these numbers. Back here to 4, and by putting him on the post curl, that thing times up just about right. So the quarterback's looking to the left. He'll take this one every time if he can get it, and then we're working here to there. All right, it's old-fashioned Y cross, except for having that H run a little deeper. If he's in the backfield coming out, he comes out at 5 yards deep. We figure that's the same distance he's used to running. He used to run a 10-yard route. So it looks like the old H option if he's coming out of the backfield, even though he's really tied to an out route at the beginning. You know, we're always looking for that kid that can get the feel for that H option because it's such a weapon if you can find the right personnel. But I think it's highly tied to a personnel thing. If you got the kid that can do it, do it. All right, so that's 95. That's day 3, Y cross. All right, the last one is 94. Sorry, I left that there. Last day is 94, day 4, and it is just the old Y sail route. So, Y sail is on the right side. We've got a vert, a takeoff vert, a speed cut out at 10. Because of speed cut, he's probably drifting 12-ish. We got the swing by the F. Then on the back side, we have we're working post curl on the back side, and we're using a speed cut, the old 5-yard speed cut out. And we like to play a little game right here with the wheel. So the true read is Z is number 1, Y is number 2, F is number 3. If we ended up backside, you would have the curl, the post curl coming open just about the right time. But we do like to play this little game. We'll get in situations where the H has a little signal that he can give the quarterback that tells him that this walk is lined up inside of him and he thinks he can beat him outside. If we're pretty sure that this corner is running with the X, then we'll take that. We give them freedom that we feel good that the corner's gonna run with it, and we got outside, we got that that walk player flanked, then he'll give a little signal, quarterback will just catch it and throw it out there right now, and we'll take the easy, the gimme yards every time we can. So we'll play that game between these two once we feel good about what coverage they're in. And then my experience has always been that 94 was the first 90 that we could get good at. I don't know why, but we just kind of always came out the gate, you know, early in spring practice, and we got pretty good at 94. First part of the season, 94 was always a good play for us. Then later on, you know, I felt like, you know, mesh, 92 takes a long time, takes a lot of investment. 96 takes some investment. You know, you can get some cheap ones on the outside if you got speed. Shallow is the next one that starts getting good. And then slowly 95 will turn into a big play for us. So the most instant bang for your buck to me has always been 94, followed closely by the shallow once we took that vertical, the first read off of it. So when we went to just the shallow as being our first read, that's when that became a high percentage play for us. All right, so that's it. That's our 4-day insertion for 90s. Remember, do all the YouTube stuff. If you like it, like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have a comment, you know, I want to hear some good ideas just like you. So hopefully you got one good idea from me. I want one good one from you. Thank you, coaches.